Hello, this is the Theory King, and today I'm going to be discussing a fan theory that I haven't really seen many people talk about ever about this movie, and this movie is World War Z. And I actually came up with this fan theory a long time ago. I posted it, and many people seem to agree with it. This is when I had another channel, which I may discuss that in the future. I don't know, who knows, who cares. Besides the point, so yeah, and this fan theory is one that always interested me, and I really liked it. And it's the first theory, one of the first theories that definitely got me into this type of genre of YouTubing. Besides the point, so the theory we are going to discuss is, was Tommy from World War Z infected? So if you guys haven't seen the movie World War Z or don't remember any of the characters, basically it's about the zombie apocalypse essentially, and they're like these fast zombies similar to 28 Days Later and Zombieland. And, they're obviously trying to take over the world, the zombies, because the apocalypse and whatever. And you have Brad Pitt's character, Jerry, who is trying to find the cure. Eventually, he ends up in the WHO department, finds a cure with a bunch of other stuff. He basically combines different illnesses to create the cure, whatever, and that's how he gets the cure. And then they're able to seemingly eradicate zombies. But who knows, because there is a sequel on the way. Besides the point. So, Tommy, basically, towards the first half of the movie, Jerry, and his family end up in this apartment complex. In this apartment complex, they meet this other family, and it's this small little Mexican family. It's the mom, dad, and the little boy, Tommy. Basically, afterwards, the two families kind of have an argument, and basically it's, hey, would you rather be safe here in this apartment complex where it could possibly be invaded by those zombies, or would you rather be safe out at sea where the military is literally protecting you, etc., etc., etc. The Mexican family decides to say, hey, as much as we appreciate your offer, we're not going to go. We'd rather stay here in the apartment complex. And surprisingly, the zombies are able to come into the apartment complex and wipe out everybody who lives there. And basically, it's just the two parents of the one Mexican kid called Tommy, and that's about it. Jerry and his family, Brad Pitt's character, is able to get out alongside Tommy. And I always found something strange about the scene where you find Tommy, where they rescue Tommy. And I'll leave a link to it somewhere in the description down below if you guys want to check it out. But basically, he literally comes out of nowhere from the staircase that's invaded by zombies. Brad Pitt, at the moment, is literally being attacked by a zombie. He shoots the zombie and saves Brad Pitt. And at the end, they go in the helicopter, and the rest of the story continues as is, with Tommy now being basically adopted by Brad Pitt's family. So, yeah. So I always wondered, was Tommy infected? Now, if you guys don't know what infected means in terms of World War Z, basically we see a few glimpses throughout here and there. Most predominantly in Jerusalem, the Jerusalem scene, we see two people kind of being protected from the zombies, and they're not being attacked. Basically, if you're infected with the cure, you're not going to be attacked. They think you're one of you. Basically, it's something in the blood, and that's kind of where they get the idea of the cure. If you could get this disease inside you, make sure it doesn't kill you, obviously, then, the zombies won't attack you, etc., etc., etc. So, this is basically where I had this. Was Tommy one of the people who was infected, but just, didn't turn for whatever reason? Were the zombies not attacked him? And I found the pros and cons to this. So, basically, why he is infected, why he is not infected, or why he is likely not to be infected. Now, I'm going to go over the reasons as to why I believe he is infected. I have like 5 points, I believe. Yeah, I have 5 points. Now, as I said before, this whole staircase, first off, we see Brad Pitt getting attacked by at least 3 zombies. He kills 3 zombies on himself. And we see a quick shot of a bunch of zombies just running up. And at the end, right after the rescue, you have the military from the helicopters shooting at zombies coming out of the staircase. So, obviously, there's zombies coming out of, they're in the apartment complex. We know they're attacking them. We know this is how this parent's kids died. And, yeah, so it is, I always find it kind of weird. How is it that, the small little boy was able to go up the staircase? Furthermore, you have adult zombies, because there's no children zombies in, like, almost any medium of zombie medium. I can only think of The Walking Dead and Zombieland, and that's about it. Zombieland, they had a quick scene at the beginning, and Walking Dead, they had Sophia to begin with, so they've had children zombies. But that's the only times I could think of children zombies in any type of medium. So, yeah, so and they're always pretty small and whatever. So, it would make sense, in my opinion, if these adult zombies or adult-looking zombies were to have attacked this small little boy. He's about 10 years old. No, it would have made sense. They would have overpowered him very easily, even if he had a gun, because, and you know, he had at least one bullet in the gun. So even if he had bullets in the gun, you know, he probably would have been able to take out 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most, and then be eaten. So it never made sense to me from that perspective. Also, what are the odds that his aim is actually that good? I really don't know. Also, let's say he was using his gun, because that is one thing. We don't know if he actually used his gun anytime before he met up with Brad Pitt and saved Brad Pitt. We don't know if he's used his gun anytime before that, but we have to assume, you know, his aim may not be good. You know, he's running, he's probably shooting like this, bam, 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 you know, bam, and he's probably running back, you know, shooting any of that. Again, what are the odds his aim is good? How many bullets does he have? Does he even have time to reload? It's like that type of stuff. So, and I always found that kind of weird. So I always thought that he was infected for that reason. He obviously made it out of his small apartment complex, his small apartment room for sure. And we know that because his parents sacrificed himself to save him. We do see his zombified dad on the rooftop later, like 2 minutes later in the scene. So we know his parents sacrificed himself. But even after that, I don't think that he'd be even able to get out of that room as is, to be honest, because at least 5 fast zombies, at least 2 of them would have gone for each parent, and another one would have gone after the kid. Even if he was able to outrun one of the zombies, but still, the more the zombies coming in through the door, it just wouldn't make sense in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically why I think. Just go over reasons why I believe he was infected. The staircase was basically crowded with zombies. There's no way in hell he would have been able to get through it without getting pounded by a zombie, you know, just eaten because of their speed or strength. So there's that. So 1 and 2. Again, he was the only person in his family to live. I mean, yeah, granted, his family did kind of sacrifice themselves, but even after that, it wouldn't make sense just with the amount of zombies in the area. So, yeah. Also, even if he was shooting them, the aim towards the zombies wouldn't have been that great, in my opinion, and eventually he probably would have run out of bullets. So there is that as well. And those are basically my main points as to why I think he was infected. Now, onto the reasons why I don't believe he was infected. Now, as I said before, and this is mostly revolving around the gun. And this is basically what I have. Who knows? Maybe this kid does have some incredible fucking aim somehow. I've never seen a 10-year-old have great aim, but hey, who knows? So, yeah. Also, we don't, as I said before, we don't know how many bullets, if any, did he waste before he met up with Brad Pitt. Also, we do see the staircase crowded, and we do see it for a second in between Brad Pitt, but you do have to remember in that scene that the zombies, when they start attacking him, are only on the levels below the floor that Tommy and Brad Pitt's family came out of. So let's say, I believe they were like in floor 3 or 4, give or take. So yeah, so all the zombies were coming from floors 1, 2, and 3. So, and Brad Pitt was able to shoot at least the first wave of them. So if there was enough time, Tommy could have been able to go up, because the last zombie that attacked Brad Pitt was already at the top, or one of the last few floors. So like, let's say levels 10, 9, 10, 9, or the roof, so 11, 10, 9, whatever. They were already at the top. So that's how I do think, if he wasn't infected, I think that's the only explanation as to why. Maybe he did have enough bullets, because we also don't know how many bullets, if any, did he waste prior to that. Also, we don't know how close to the entrance he was when the zombies started invading. And maybe, you know, maybe his small stature was actually an advantage to him, because he was able to outrun and outspeed, and maybe even outsmart, because remember, zombies are stupid, to outspeed, and overall just, yeah, outsmart the zombies. So those are the reasons why I think he could have survived. It's one of those things I've always wondered. It always kind of had left a weird feeling in my mind. You know, it's like, it doesn't make sense. Why would he survive? Also, why him? Because he's not really important to the plot. Maybe in the sequel, who knows? But yeah, and again, it's not like although it has the title World War Z, the book and the movie are completely different. The author of the book has said, yeah, this is not that. The only similarity between them is the title. That's it. So, yeah. So it's not like his character was important in the book. Actually, none of the characters were important in the book, because they didn't technically exist in the book. It was more like a zombie survival guide. So, yeah. Overall, so what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Tommy was infected? In my opinion, I do think he is infected. I feel like the evidence is all there. If you don't, as I said before, the only reasons why I think he wouldn't be infected is because we don't know how many zombies were actually in his small little house apartment complex when they killed his parents. Furthermore, we don't know how many zombies were actually in the staircase when he was running up it. So yeah, and those are really the only explanations I could see as to counter the infection theory. So what are your thoughts? Do you think he was infected? I honestly believe he was affected, and this is a theory that I made up on myself, so I really do like it. I really kind of hope it's right. So yeah, what are your thoughts on it? Comment all that time. Let me know. Do you think different, or who knows? Who knows? Or do you think? Because here's something actually I just literally thought of. We never saw his mom. We know his parents died for sure, but we never saw his mom. So it's possible that his dad could have at least been able to at least leave. Him and his dad were able to at least leave the small apartment complex they were in. But maybe his dad died during the staircase. So we do know that. However, there is a quick shot of him going up the staircase. So who knows about that? You know, maybe the dad was able to leave the apartment complex, but not survive the staircase, which would also make a pretty great explanation, in my opinion, as to why he survived that staircase scene. So yeah, I mean, that's really the only other explanation I could see as to why, which would actually be a terrific counter to the infection theory and actually be very believable. So yeah, overall, what are your thoughts on it? Comment all that down below. Let me know. Like the video, share, and yeah, that's basically it for now. And this is the Theory King signing off.